Come along with me to Doha, Qatar as a solo female traveler. Doha, Qatar is such a good destination if you are a solo female traveler. First of all, because of its safety. Let me tell you, I felt so super safe in Doha. I could go out at any time of the day and night and I didn't feel like I had to be overly vigilant. Doha, as is the case for many other Gulf Arabian countries, has a reputation for being a safe place with low crime rates, especially petty crimes that usually are a nuisance to travelers. I was so happy to see that people at the library literally just leave all their electronics, their expensive laptops, phones, etc. at a table to reserve their spot without having to worry about people stealing anything. And it's so safe there because, first of all, there's a lot of cameras everywhere. The government takes care of the people, so people are not, starving for money or not homeless. And I think also just the value of the Qatari people. Also, it's not a country that has issues with drugs and alcohol. So all of this kind of just makes it feel super safe to me. And then second, it's super clean, especially in the more modern parts, it feels super clean. There are some of the older parts where you might find some trash on the floor and things like that. And third, Doha is so modern, it has everything you need. Doha feels like a futuristic city. The skyline is so spectacular. And one of my favorite buildings is that one that looks like a swordfish. Doha is a relatively new city in terms of being built. So many of the buildings look new and they have the most recent and stylish architecture. And also a lot of the areas were built recently, especially in preparation for the World Cup, which was held there in 2022. And you can still see remnants of them celebrating the World Cup with signs and also art on the buildings. Number 4, I want to talk about the religion of Qatar. So Qatar is an Islamic country and mosques can be found everywhere. Even in shopping malls, they have prayer areas for men and women. The adhan, which is the call to prayer, can be heard 5 times a day on speakers throughout the city. The Qataris can be seen donning their cultural clothing, where men traditionally wear a white thobe with a head covering called a gutra, I believe. The women wear black abayas accompanied by black hijabs or black scarves. And in general, people tend to be more modest, and as a tourist, it's important to respect this culture. In public places like festivals and malls, you'll notice that there are dress codes posted. Some of the rules include not wearing shorts above the knees and also no bare shoulders. Number 5, public transportation. The buses are free. Isn't that amazing? You can just get on the bus for free. However, the train, on the other hand, you do have to pay for, but it's very affordable. You just need to get a train card. You can top it off at the station. It's really easy to get around with the train. It's clean, modern, fast, and well connected. They have carts designated for families and then standard carts, which I thought was so super thoughtful for families. So that's a little overview of Qatar and what I liked about it in terms of maybe living there. Okay, now let's go through what I did there and maybe you can get some inspo from this, and also just want to share my experience and what I found fun. So one of the first things I did was I went to Souq Waqif, and this is a must. And it's probably the first thing everyone recommends to you. I usually am not one for overcrowded markets, but this place was truly a very, very nice vibe. I loved the architecture and the energy of the place. There were so many good restaurants to choose from, places with fresh juice, and of course, so much shopping. And it's super lively at night too, and I see that they have camel rides there. The same day I went to Souq Waqif, I also went to Bidda Park, so it's pretty close. It's kind of walking distance. It is quite a walk, so if you're not a big walker, you might want to take a taxi. But I got there by walking along the water corniche. The walk along the water is really nice because you get to see a very clear view of the Doha skyline. And Bidda Park, it's a huge park in the city. It was so well maintained and it was actually surprisingly quiet and a very serene experience. I read a book there for a bit and enjoyed the company of some of the stray cats. One thing to know about this place is you cannot ride an electric scooter or bikes for safety. Only non-motorized scooters and bikes are allowed. I would know because I was on a scooter and the guard told me it's not allowed. Also, parks like these are so safe to be in even at night. You can just walk around because there are cameras everywhere. It felt so liberating to me to be able to walk here at night. Alright, another place that I visited was Katara village. This is a very popular tourist destination in Doha. It's mostly just shopping, and when I went there, I honestly felt like it was kind of dead. It wasn't very lively and there weren't too many people. I do think I went during the weekday, kind of in the afternoon, so not a lot of people are out during that time. But I was happy to find this hidden gem. There's a park next to it called the Seven Hills Park, I believe. Its green grass stretches so far. You can also walk all the way up to the top and you get a breathtaking view of the water and buildings. Okay, here's another place I really recommend, which is Old Doha Port. I really like the vibe of Old Doha Port because the buildings here have stunning colors and there are so many beautiful murals. There's also shops and cafes here and it's near the water. Also, there's a park called Mia Park next to it, which has a cafe at the end with a nice view of the Doha skyline. The cafe, in my opinion, does not have good food or like good drinks necessarily, but the view of the skyline is very nice. Okay, one of my favorite spots I went to, and probably is not necessarily like a top tourist destination, but I really liked it, is Education City. I really think it's underrated, but honestly it was one of my favorite spots. So Education City is in the west part of Doha, and it's a major hub for education and research. It has a bunch of colleges, and I really enjoyed the National Library that was there. It's so picturesque and modern. There's so much natural light that's flowing in there. They have a cafe in there. It's pricey though, so beware. They also have a few fun rooms there, which I saw from afar. There was one with like a bunch of Macs, and it seemed useful for like editing videos or like a technology hub type of thing. Another one was filled with instruments, and I forget what the other ones had, but they were cool too. Another major attraction here is on the basement level of this library. They basically have like a whole museum for free. There is history there about Qatar and about Islam, and honestly you can just spend a good hour down there learning. On the main level, they also had a temporary exhibition for Morocco, something about bookmaking. Also, as I said before, in the library, people just leave their valuables to reserve their chair or table, and I love that so much because you don't have to just worry about packing up all your stuff just to go to the bathroom. You can get up and take a break, walk around whenever you want. One funny thing about this library though is the elevator. Do not take it. It is the slowest elevator I have ever seen in my life, so I beg you to not use it unless you need it for accessibility reasons. Otherwise, just take the stairs. So besides the library, in Education City you can find a beautiful mosque with a very cool exterior design, and the outside area in Education City is also so beautiful with greenery and water fountains. It's just so serene to just walk around there, and it kind of feels like a nature retreat. And that's one thing I really appreciate about Qatar. Even though it's a desert, the government is really investing into bringing green spaces and maintaining the green spaces and, you know, making it feel like you're not in a desert. So it's so beautiful to have that there. And some people think it's fake. Well, I don't know, a lot of things in life are fake. Buildings are fake. So I really appreciate these green parks, even though maybe it takes more work to maintain them in Qatar. It's so nice to have. Yeah, so that's a lot of what I did, and I just want to mention where I stayed. I stayed in a place called Muntaza Plaza Hotel. It was in an older part of Doha, so I didn't really like the location, but it was good enough, as in it was like connected to the train and things, so I could get around very easily. The service at the hotel was really incredible. I was always helped with my bags, and the staff was so friendly and helpful whenever I needed anything. I was not a huge fan of the room though. Although it was roomy, it had no windows that faced outdoors, so it made it so hard for me to get up early in the morning because it was so dark in the room. There was no sunshine. It made me kind of sad, honestly. So here's just a clip from the hotel. So this is the hotel room in Qatar. We have a little lounging area with the TV up here, and then a separate area for the bedroom. Also, if you're curious about how much groceries cost, I filmed a short clip about it. So this is from the store Al Mira, which is in Qatar. So here's what you can expect for prices. So let me show you what I got. Small chapati bread was 2 riyals. I got some fruits. This watermelon was 420 riyals. And then this cantaloupe had a little bit more. It was 480 riyals. I got this sandwich, which has egg in it and maybe some vegetables, for 7. This baba ganoush dip, I got this one for, let's see, 11.75. So that one was a little bit pricey. A bunch of clementines for 3.06. 2 cucumbers for 1.12. I want to indulge myself in some chocolate milk, but this was definitely one of the pricier ones. It was $7. This rice pudding looked really good, so I got this and it was $2.25. Fuji apple one was 0.75. Some Wrigley double mint chewing gum for $1. I got this water for $1. And then I also got some non-food items, some hair conditioner, which was, let's see, $9.50. And then this leave-on conditioner, which was $18. So that's all I have for you about Doha, Qatar and my solo trip as a female there. If you're planning to visit, I hope you have so much fun and that this video helps plan your visit. Stay tuned for more travel videos and more like organizing, planning videos, things like that. If you have any additional questions about Qatar or Doha or traveling there like as a solo female traveler, please leave them down below in the comments and I can do a video on those questions and answering those questions. All right, bye everyone.